We avoided the biggest risk of the break before the final session, and I think it's because our speakers are going to be fantastic. This is personally one of the most interesting areas because when I joined Rackspace, the media agency group that they had seemed to be where all the excitement and the big logos and the big opportunities were coming from. And it didn't take a genius to go figure out why. The large enterprises of the world have trusted digital agencies and consulting firms because that's what they get paid for, is to think of new ways to do something better or transform something. So if that's where the customers want to go, that's where the cloud and the hosting industry is needed to go. It's the ones that have gone there have reaped the benefits. And so finding out why they're so successful at getting large enterprises to embrace cloud is one of the interesting things, but there's so many more things that Allison's going to start on in a second here. So Allison from Thorburn, thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Great. Thank you, Andy. Hello, good afternoon. Hi, my name is Allison Stienessen, and I'm here representing the Thorburn Group. We're local. We are a digital brand agency. And as Andy alluded to you, and I'll share with you now, I have a confession. I apologize, but this is my Catholic upbringing coming forward here. I'm not an expert on the cloud, and then I will apologize if that doesn't meet your expectations or gives you some sort of disappointment. I'm also from Minnesota, so that's natural to me too, and then I'm going to apologize to Andy for apologizing because apologizing is eating into our presentation time. I am not an expert on cloud computing, crowd solving, big data, some of these great terms that you've used today, or any other colloquial expression that's similar. However, I am a businesswoman. And I aspire to be an incredibly valuable partner to all of our customers and our clients. And as such, it's important for me to stay in tune with some of these big things that are happening to our companies so that we can understand it, how it's shaping our businesses and subsequently their customers. So I do care and I do need to know. And again, I did look at Andy when he had asked me to join today, a little bit cautiously saying, okay, this isn't exactly my area, but very quickly learned that it is, in fact. And in fact, we use it on a day-to-day basis. I'm going to forward this here. Because we do manage our businesses in a digital fashion, we by nature have an ecological existence with the cloud. I've learned over the years to recognize that just because there's smoke most indefinitely means that there's fire, and where there is a cloud, there is probably some form of precipitation. And that precipitation to us in a digital sense is beginning to look a lot like data. The digital ecosystem for us at Thorburn is an incredibly valuable capability at managing our clients and their clients. What we do is manage our online customers through content. And what we're learning to understand a little bit better is how content and data interact. So as we live in this ecosystem, our main focus is on nurturing and on cultivating customers and the customer experience by targeting them with content and getting them to go through the conversion and purchase process. And to do that, we need to make sure that we've got the right product at the right time to the right person in the right channel, and it's nothing short of a science. And without having data to back it up, it's hard to tell for sure if it's effective or not. I can share with you, this is our ecosystem. This is just basically a blueprint of the digital ecosystem that we currently manage for one of our customers, Polaroid, who you're probably familiar with, the rising phoenix after a very down economy. With the client came a number of assets. You probably can't read the finer detail, but we've got a whole bunch of representation in a digital sense. We've got YouTube, we've got Facebook, we've got Twitter, we've got Pinterest, we've got the Polaroid storefront, and behind it the e-commerce site. And if you didn't know what you're doing, this can be very intimidating. All of these different things that have to come together in a digital marketplace and work together. How do you do that? And we manage content. That's primarily what we do. We have content that acts as a vehicle that goes between all of these different customer touch points and influences our customers, all of you sitting in this room, myself included. Anytime I'm interacting on any of the social social spheres, I am emulating customer behaviors. So as we manage this digital ecosystem, we think about, well, what's in it for the customers? Why are we doing this for our clients? What isn't it for the customers? And the answer is they're getting timely, relevant, engaging, and personal messaging, and it's delivered through a digital cohesive ecosystem, which is important if you're a business because the customers can drive a purchase cycle. Brand awareness, product value, and personal awareness, all these three kind of key core areas that drive a customer to make a decision. And believe it or not, when you've got a following of 225,000 people on Facebook, you can start to make correlations between who these followers are and how they're making decisions about your product line. The challenge we have is that we can't do that readily without data to support the activity. So again, what we do is we deploy a design-based digital strategy that manages a virtual marketplace. We optimize the online customer experience, and we work to build strong, integrated, collaborative brand communities. So as I said, cloud computing, all the terminology that we've used today doesn't necessarily reside within my vocabulary, but real-time communication, shared resources, I think we said dynamic reallocation of resources and rapid adjustments of resources to meet fluctuating and unpredictable business demand. All of those things do, because they reside within a social sphere. What we do on a day-to-day basis is manage our content. We work in these three core areas: growing, nurturing, and converting. We raise awareness, we invite people into the brand, we inspire them, we inform them, and then once we get those leads, we generate the leads, we nurture them, we engage them, we interact with them, we respond to them. And finally, we work to convert all this activity into sales. And with every single step that all of our consumers are making, they're leaving a trail of information behind. And it's being captured in much of what you do, and it's certainly being captured within the cloud. At the Thorburn Group, we talk about our process. It's kind of four-tiered. As we manage a digital ecosystem, we talk about the strategy, the design, how we're going to actually build it, and then how we'll continue to manage it. And today it's working really well. And I think tomorrow, as we better understand more about the cloud and more about what that can do in terms of precipitating data into our ecosystem, how that'll impact our businesses and subsequently their customers. So what we do today is we get pretty comfortable, I'd say relatively confident, about how we're going to measure what's in it for our clients. What's in our digital ecosystem today, what could be in it tomorrow as we capture and gather more data and apply it in a way that makes sense. Today we can say that we're generating leads. We're drawing people in off the internet through all of our social channels and we're bringing them into the business. We can also say that that is inspiring revenue and growth. What makes it challenging is we can't always connect the dots. Today we can say all this activity that we've done in a social sphere, if we lay over it sales, productivity reports, we can kind of see and make educated correlations between the two, but we can't always necessarily draw a clear conclusion. We can say that we're influencing reach and visibility. We can certainly see that with all the activity that happens in our social spheres. And really important to marketers is message calibration. If you've played golf before, for example, in a tournament, you're probably familiar with a shotgun start. So everybody starts out at the same time. Well, it's kind of the same thing in a social world where you can have every single social component be aligned and have consistent, clear, cohesive brand messaging. We can also influence engagement. If you use Facebook, if you use Twitter, you'll notice all the activity, all the voice, all of the communication that goes behind it is all branding. It's all people talking about your brand, sharing your brand, sharing their experience with your brand. And finally, we measure reputation management. So what's been kind of an interesting shift for us has been that we have taken on some of the support channels. So what used to be customer service in a very traditional world, the 800 number, waiting on the phone, 20 minutes go by, you're not sure you're going to get anybody. In a social world, we can create and provide a voice to the brand and actually respond to people on a personal basis. So these are kind of how we measure all of the benefits and for our clients. And I suspect that as we get to know more and more about the cloud and all of the things that reside in the cloud and all the data and all the things that we can capture, we're only going to be able to better articulate this for our clients. So it's a very exciting time to be in the digital business, and I think it's only going to get better. And I think the more that we stay connected and network, we'll be able to deliver even a greater product. So I'm excited by it. I'm not intimidated by it. I know that we have like I said, an ecological coexistence, but exactly, I think it remains to be told. Yep.
Thank you. So thank you for being a part of the inaugural BigCloud event in Minneapolis, Minnesota. We'll see you next year in March. To all of you, thank you. To our sponsors, thank you very much. Have a great night, everyone.